Ever found yourself needing a certified check or bank draft, but you're banking online with a digital-first institution like EQ Bank? It might seem like a bit of a puzzle at first. After all, you're not walking into a physical branch. So, how do you get that official, paper-based document? That's exactly what we're tackling today. Now, before we dive into the specifics of raising a bank draft at EQ Bank, let's quickly clarify why you might need one in the first place. While digital payments are incredibly convenient for everyday transactions, there are still situations where a bank draft is the preferred or even required method of payment. Think about large purchases like a car, a house, or perhaps a significant business transaction. In these scenarios, the recipient often wants the assurance that the funds are guaranteed and readily available. A bank draft provides that security because the money is essentially withdrawn from your account and held by the bank until the draft is cashed. This eliminates the risk of a check bouncing or a payment being reversed. It's a rock-solid form of payment. Another common use case for bank drafts is for official payments to government agencies or institutions. For example, if you're paying court fees, immigration fees, or certain types of taxes, a bank draft might be the required method of payment. Again, it provides the guarantee of funds that these organizations often require. So, now that we understand the why, let's get to the how. How do you actually get a bank draft from EQ Bank, an institution that operates entirely online? This is where things get interesting, and it's a process that's designed to be as smooth as possible, even without physical branches. EQ Bank, while being a digital bank, understands the need for traditional banking instruments like bank drafts. They've partnered with Canada Post to facilitate this process, which adds a layer of convenience for their customers. The first step is to log into your EQ Bank account. Once you're in, navigate to the Send Money section. Within this section, you'll find the option for bank draft. It might be labeled slightly differently, so look for anything relating to certified checks or official bank drafts. Once you've found the bank draft option, you'll be prompted to enter the necessary information. This will include the recipient's name, the amount of the draft, and your own contact information. It's crucial to double-check all of this information for accuracy. Any errors could delay the process or cause complications. After you've entered all the details, you'll be able to review the request and confirm it. At this stage, EQ Bank will deduct the funds from your account, plus any applicable fees for issuing the bank draft. These fees are usually clearly displayed before you finalize the transaction, so you'll know exactly what to expect. Now, here's the key part: EQ Bank doesn't mail the draft directly to the recipient. Instead, they send it to you via Canada Post. This is where the partnership with Canada Post comes into play. You'll receive the bank draft at your mailing address, usually within a few business days. The exact delivery time will depend on Canada Post's delivery schedules and your location. You'll receive tracking information so you can monitor the delivery progress. Once you receive the bank draft, you are then responsible for delivering it to the intended recipient. This could be done by mail, courier, or in person, depending on the situation and what's most convenient. So, to recap the process, you log into your EQ Bank account, navigate to the Send Money section, select Bank Draft, enter the recipient and amount information, confirm the request, and then receive the draft via Canada Post. You are then responsible for delivering it to the recipient. Now, there are a few important points to keep in mind when requesting a bank draft from EQ Bank. First, be aware of the processing time. While EQ Bank processes the request relatively quickly, you need to factor in the delivery time via Canada Post. If you need the bank draft urgently, it's best to request it well in advance to avoid any last-minute stress. Second, consider the fees associated with bank drafts. These fees can vary, so it's always a good idea to check EQ Bank's fee schedule before you make the request. These fees are usually clearly displayed during the transaction process, but it's always good to be prepared. Third, ensure that you have sufficient funds in your account to cover the amount of the bank draft plus any applicable fees. If there aren't enough funds, the request will be declined. Fourth, keep the bank draft in a safe place once you receive it. It's a valuable document, and losing it could cause significant complications. It's best to keep it in a secure location until you're ready to deliver it to the recipient. Fifth, if you're sending the bank draft by mail, consider using a trackable shipping method with Canada Post, like registered mail or express post. This will provide you with a tracking number and confirmation of delivery, giving you added peace of mind. And finally, if you have any questions or encounter any issues during the process, don't hesitate to contact EQ Bank's customer service. They are usually very responsive and can provide assistance with any queries you might have. So, as you can see, even though EQ Bank is a digital bank, they've made it possible to access traditional banking services like bank drafts through their partnership with Canada Post. It's a process that's designed to be convenient and straightforward, even without the presence of physical branches. It's a great example of how digital banking can integrate with traditional services to provide a comprehensive banking experience. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.